Okay, you ready? I'm going to be great. Thank you. All right. In 3, 2, 1. Hi, everybody. This is Robert Linkle, and this is Aging with Strength. You're joining us on a topic today that is a little bit more specific to the personal trainer than it is the consumer. But on the consumer side of things, it's always good to know this information in terms of pursuing a personal trainer, who you're going to work with, and so on. Today is the day after Christmas. I am using my brand new microphone. This is the Yeti from Blue Mic, so I'm very excited about having that. And I have my brand new headphones on, so I'm able to do basically a mobile podcast, or a webcast in this case. And I also have Bring Your Daughter to Work Day. So she is right over here with me.
Hi.
Staying perfectly quiet and doing a great job playing while I do this quick little webcast podcast. So today's topic is what I've nicknamed the crock pot of personal training. And our industry has basically become this in the sense of, when personal training first came about, late 70s, early 80s, as far as an actual career choice or profession to pursue, personal trainers didn't really have a job description. They didn't really get paid all that well. And so things have progressed to the point where we all have careers now that we make out of this. You were either a personal trainer working for, free memberships and, really simple payments from personal training clients that would basically buy supplements and some things like that from you, also to kind of supplement your income. But or you were on the other side where you were the gym owner, and there wasn't a whole lot in between. So where we kind of got to now is that you can have a career as a personal trainer. It just takes a long time to build it. And this is a point of frustration that I get with a lot of personal trainers, especially brand new ones, rookies entering the industry. And they're frustrated. They don't know why, things aren't cranking and why they aren't making these averages that they see all over the internet. And they don't understand why they're missing these marketing campaigns that they're seeing people on Facebook talk about that make them $20,000 in their first month of being open and such. Which I'm here to tell you, that's a load of crap. If that's happening, it's not going to be a reoccurring business model for you. So I nicknamed this the crock pot. Yeah, thank you, buddy. Yeah, stay quiet. I'm live right now. I'm live. Yeah. So the crock pot of personal training is more or less that. It takes a long time for things to really come together. But in the long run, it's great. It's a sweet deal. It's a great thing that you got to put together, but there has to be a time commitment. Things slowly progress. This is not it's not a microwave industry by any means. So where things can get confusing, where people have false expectations, is when they search for some of these stats on the internet. And so I'm going to read some for you. The average income, this is as of December 1st, 2018, is somewhere between $42,000 and $72,000, the average being right around 59. Which I know that's not exactly in the middle of those two numbers, but the number of people that report their average income, the high end was 72, the low end was 42, and then the averages were kind of settling around 59, 60, 61. So people see that number and they think, okay, if I get hired at Box Gym or if I get hired at a studio, that's what I can expect to make my first year. They don't read into the fine print, where the individuals that are reporting these numbers have been working for at least 3 years in the personal training industry. Okay, the average number of employees versus independent contractors was somewhere along the lines of 60% employees. 60% independent contractors versus 40% of employees. And then out of those individuals, ones that were getting health benefits, any benefits of sorts, meaning healthcare, eye, dental, vision, any of that. And then into retirement, IRAs or 401ks or any kind of investments on those ends, where it was estimated at less than 20%. So not only are we starting with really low numbers to start off, and the expectation number is, you're going to be way up at this, $59,000 a year. Well, not until your third year, and you're not going to get any kind of financial assistance to help you along the way, as in terms of, am I going to have health care, or is anybody going to invest into my future for retirement, et cetera? Those things are not going to happen until at least 3 years down the road. And if you're an independent contractor, or if you're a studio owner, or your own business person, any of that's going to come up benefit-wise is going to come from you. So you have to make enough money And you have to designate enough of those funds to be delegated to those specific things, or else it's not going to happen for you. So the average personal trainer as of right now lasts about 18 to 24 months. That number is actually up. It used to be 12 to 18 months. So the average trainer is lasting a little bit longer. But right now, 18 to 24 months, basically, they can't hack it in the first 2 years. They're done. I'm going to give you some stats here on finances of why people aren't making that number and why it's really hard to get to making, $42,000 to $72,000 a year within the first 3 years or get to that number. There's just not enough time in those 3 years for them to financially sustain, their living, their cost of life, to match that income over the 3 years to help them maintain. They're going broke and they have to go do something else. So that's what occurs. It's this rotation. It's this cycle that's really frustrating. I only know of a couple of gyms that, or at studios for that matter, that when they hire a new employee, they give them some fixed rates. They give them some set hours. They give them any kind of healthcare benefits when they come in. We are one of them, and it's very minimal. I mean, it's just barely enough money to get you to be here. It's a little bit over minimum wage, but it's in the start of things, it's something. It's guaranteed hours. It's guaranteed income. And then as you build your personal training clientele, you are able to add incomes, your commissions on that as you go up. And I like the idea of being able to provide some kind of fixed number for my employees when they came in, so they had something to rely on, and it wasn't just good luck, I hope you make some kind of consistent income. They had a foundation, and it's just really hard to find that in this industry. And if we were a bigger business and had a grander vision of what we wanted to do with multiple locations and franchising and all that, then I would try to offer greater options to people coming in. But that's not our intention. The intention is for John and I to just rock it here at this place, and both of us to do well and to keep this, private, personal, and interactive, affective connection kind of environment with our clients. And that's what we want. We don't want it to get lost in the franchise tags and the multiple locations and new trainers cycling in every day. Like, we want this to be this personal environment for us. That way we continue to enjoy it. So a lot of places just don't have that. They don't offer it, and it gets frustrating. So people leave. People will get one certification on average. You'll see the trainers out there that have the alphabet, as the Cosgroves call it, the alphabet of initials after their name. And that's all great and good. And I call that the Swiss Army knife approach. Like, a Swiss Army knife will get some things done. It's okay at doing a bunch of things, but it's not great at doing one or two things. And so that's where you want to be the specialty. You want it to be the specialty item where, you are this one special expert. In the beginning, you don't really know what that is. So you're doing a bunch of different stuff. I get that. You're getting the certs, but which ones really make a big difference for you? So in our industry, you'll see average personal trainer gets one certification. Typically, it's just their CPT, and it's the cheapest one they can find, just so they can start working in this business. And that, to me, is sad. People are not investing in their continued education. When you look at the IRS, the statistics of how many personal trainers work in this country, it's upwards of 280,000 personal trainers. And we don't see 280,000 trainers coming to conferences. We see, I guess, less than 10% of that. So we go to conferences, we see 200-300, and I'm part of the NSCA, and I've been to ACSM events, Perform Better events, Hammer Strength events, and now we're crossing over into the strength and conditioning world, which there's probably only about 3,000 or 4,000 coaches working in this country, and that's from college to D2 to junior colleges to high schools that can afford them, so we're looking at, maybe 20,000 people that are going to events. That leaves a ton of people out there that are just getting a base level certification and just starting to work. They just want to make money. So that's the average that we see in there. And then we see that they're not financially successful because they don't really know how to train or how to build their business. They know nothing about business development. They know just the basics of how to train people in a one-on-one format. And so this cycle, this just vicious cycle of, I don't know how to do this, I'm failing, I leave. The next person, I want to do it, I'm passionate, I don't know how to be good at it, I start to fail, I leave. And it just happens over and over and over again. So bottom line, the point that I'm trying to make with this whole thing is that we have this threshold really to look at finances and say, like, you've made it in this industry. It's like 5 to 8 years, but at minimum 3 years is what we're looking at. We're looking at 3 years where you're going to look at finances and say, I have consistent clientele that's following. I have a consistent level of income that I can be reliant on, that I can trust is going to be here. So here are my numbers. And then I did a survey monkey out to, I don't know, 20 or 30 of my fellow career personal trainers. I just sent it out on Facebook, had them fill it out, and it was like 3 or 4 really basic questions. And then I have another one. I'll do probably 2 or 3 more podcasts on the rest of this. And it goes into depth on, how many of them have retirement funds, how many of them have, make over $100,000 a year. Like, it just goes into all this depth of all these things that we don't really know about this industry. So what I asked was, how many lifer clients did you have? I'm almost done. Just hang out. Okay. Okay. So when I asked them, absolute lifers, okay, lifers meaning people that come in twice a week and they are consistent and they're just in the schedule. They're going to be in there permanently. Okay. Those individuals, I had 7 in my first year of working. So 7 clients coming in twice a week. So 14 sessions basically a week that I could rely on. They were consistent. Mind you, this was back in 2002, 2003 when I was really starting to get going. It was about $20,000 a year I was making. Okay. By year 2, I had 10 clients. So 10 clients twice a week, 20 sessions. That got me up to about 28,000. And then by my 3rd year, I was up to 13 clients that were coming in twice a week, 26 sessions a week. I was at 40,000 there. And then the 4th year, I had 18. That equaled up to about 52,000. And then by year 5, I had 25 clients, started into a semi-private model, and that was 72,000 or more. And then as you start to offer program design, stretching sessions, if you do that, boot camps, semi-private, private one-on-ones, mobility menus, program designs for travel, for home, online personal training. There's all kinds of options that you can start to add into that, which we've seen in this industry has grown, productively as over the years. So you've got to make it that 3rd year at least just to get to 40,000. The other experts, the other pros that I asked about and I surveyed, their numbers were very comparable to mine. We've had a couple of that they got there a little bit quicker, and a couple that took them that full 7 or 8 years, but they loved it and they stuck with it, and eventually they got to that point. So when we look at education wise, the biggest concern from personal trainers isn't the passion and the desire to do this profession well, to do this job well. It's to learn about how to succeed and maintain and stay in this industry. So there's a business component, a career development component that we all need to learn about. I hope to be able to provide some of that content to everybody as we go along. But there are great other experts out there that provide that information as well. I encourage you to find that. Our books do a great job of preparing us to train, to learn about the systems, to learn how to, learn the anatomy, to learn all those things and how to pass an exam. But they don't really teach you how to build your business, build a referral program, and extend, yourself up to a point of a lifelong career trainer. It's a huge missing gap, and we just have to be patient. You need to stay the course. You need to, whatever that term is that means you're in it for the long run. You got to be the crock pot, and that's where we are as a profession. If there's anything that I can do to assist you, to help you along the way, feel free to let me know. This is Robert Linkle, crock pot of personal training, aging with strength. I hope you have a great day, and I will talk to you all soon.